Alright, this is my brand new to me John Deere 425. Let's give me a little walk around here. It has the Kawasaki 20 horse V-twin. It has the 54-inch deck. It's not on it right now. It's right there in the dark. It's really nice. I'll give you guys kind of a walk around the outside and then kind of show you how everything works. I just picked this up from a guy off OfferUp for 300 bucks, which I feel like is a really good deal because these are selling for $3,000, $4,000 in pretty okay condition. And this one's in really good condition. Usually the grill is all beat up and everything. This one's in really good condition. Sorry about the light. I'm doing this in the dark and I got a light up here in the easy up, but not the best. Alright, so let's jump up into the operator's seat. And sitting up here, you got your dashboard, which I don't have the battery hooked up right now, so I can't turn it on for you guys. And we're having some ignition issues that we're going to work out tomorrow, but I can give you a walk around of the controls and everything. So this orange lever is your engine throttle. This black lever is choke. So you only really need that when you're starting it cold. This switch down here is going to be headlights. This is going to be your PTO engage. So up is on, down is off, which would really just be turning the deck, which is not there, on and off. And it would be turning on attachments that you would have on the back. These levers here are for hydraulic lift on the deck and attachments that you can put on the front and back. I can go over the gauges a little more. This gauge over here is going to be telling you how much gas you have. There's a bunch of engine lights and stuff up at the top. The hour meter's right here. This one has 4,500 hours on it. It shows you if your lights are on, and then that gauge over to the side is your engine temperature. And your key is down here. Your parking brake is right here. So you'd push your brake in and then pull this up and it would lock in place. And then to release, you push in, push this down, and it comes up. It is missing the reverse pedal, which would go right here through that crack. But it does have the forward, because it's a twin touch hydraulic transaxle. And we got a nice glove box over here. It's a little wet because I pressure washed it. It's got handles on either side. The gas fill is right behind the seat. It is a 5-gallon fuel tank. Over here on the left side, this is the diff lock actuator switch. So because it's only a rear-wheel drive tractor and you could get in some sloppy, muddy, weird situations and you might get stuck and one tire might be spinning and the other one might not be. So what this does is you push this in and it locks both tires into spinning, so that can get you out of funky situations. This down here is your deck height adjustment. So you would put the deck at whatever height you want it to cut. So you want to cut your lawn at 2.5 inches, and then you come down and set this at 2.5 inches, and you can push the deck down until it stops, and that is set at 2.5 inches. It has the tilt steering wheel, so you just push this button under here and it tilts back. let's get down. The seat looks absolutely amazing. There's one small crack right here, but everything else looks really good. It is a spring seat. Unlike the 445 and the 455, they have a nice hydraulic kind of air ride suspension. This little guy right here is a dipstick for your transaxle fluid. Your transaxle is going to be down in there. Not much to see with that. They are 5-lug rear tires. Because it's two-wheel drive, the fronts are just a spindle. It is a hydraulic power steering. So the only thing I don't like about that is you can't turn the tires when the engine's not running. So that's kind of a thing that I don't care for, but everything else on this is absolutely amazing. You can pop the hood, which is really simple with this. You pop up the front first, and everything pops up forward, and then you can lift the back up. And I don't have the air filter cover in here right now because we're doing work on it, but this is where the air filter would go, and then there'd be a tube that goes down into this pocket right here, and it would be sucking air through this side screen. It is a liquid cooled engine, so there's a radiator here and a fan down in there. This is your radiator fluid check, and then over here is your radiator fluid fill. And then this right here is going to be your oil fill, and this is going to be your engine oil dipstick. It's the carbureted one, so I'm not sure how much you guys know about the 425, the 445, and the 455. But the only difference between the 425 and the 445 is the engine on the 425 is carbureted, and the 445 engine, same engine, but it's fuel injected. And the 445 and the 455 have the one size bigger tires than the 425. But these tires, I'm not exactly sure what the heights, the sizes are. And I think it's all worn off. Maybe it's on here. Yeah, I'm not sure. I can put them in the description for you guys, and so you guys can know. But I believe they're 20. Oh, it's on here, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So those are the tire sizes. But the 445s and the 455, I think they're 26-inch rear tires, and on this they're 23. So a little bit bigger fronts, a little bit bigger, I did that backwards, rears, fronts, all around just a little bit bigger, which can give you, better, bigger tires are always better, so, can't fight with that. But it is a side exhaust, so it's kind of hard to see in the dark, but the exhaust comes out right there on the side. It has the weight bracket for weights, so you can put like the 42-pound John Deere suitcase weights on there, but it's also hydraulic front and hydraulic in the rear, so you can put tillers and snow plows and all sorts of things on the back here, and control them from these levers up here, just like you would control the deck. What else? I feel like I'm missing something. Let me think. I guess we could go take a look at the deck real quick. let me get a light over there. I'll be right back. All right, so I got a light, and we'll go over to the deck. And, oh, one. All right, sorry about that. Technical difficulties with the light. It's just one of the handheld ones from like Ace Hardware or Home Depot or whatever. But okay, so this deck back here is a 40-inch, super simple. It has mulching blades on it. It has the mulching block off plate. Not much going on here. And this deck is for my 97 Murray, which I can show you in a minute. But that's what this deck is for. That's a 40-inch deck. So this is a 54-inch deck that is shaft driven. So it's got, what that means is there's a drive shaft right there that comes from the rear hydrostatic transmission down at the bottom. So there's a there's a drive shaft that goes from the engine to the axle, the hydrostatic transmission, and then there's another drive shaft that comes from the bottom of that and goes to this gearbox right here, and then there's some pulleys and a belt that goes to the 3 blades underneath. I'm not exactly sure what type of deck this is, and you might be like, well, you just said it was a 54-inch deck, but yes, it is that. But there are multiple types of them. Like there's the high capacity that you find on like the John Deere X758. There's some welded decks. There's stamped steel decks. This is a stamped steel deck. I know that. It says 54-inch mulcher capable. You know, don't put your feet, you know, here, you know, like that. But you know what I'm saying. It's got really nice gauge wheels here that turn. And I can do a whole video on taking the deck on and off. It's really, really simple. It's actually amazing. This deck, even though it weighs twice the amount and is way larger than the 40, I would say that this deck is a whole lot easier to take off than the 40. So I mean, there's not a whole lot to see here. Again, I just picked this up today, so I mean, there's not a lot to say. Tomorrow we're going to be going to Tractor Supply and get some paint, some yellow John Deere paint to touch this deck up, and some blades, because the blades that are on here are absolutely horrific. Let me see if I can show them. Yeah, you can't see a whole lot, but they need some serious help. So yeah, let's move on to the Murray to kind of give you guys an idea of how big the 425 is compared to the Murray. So this is my baby. This thing I got for absolutely free. It was sitting in some guy's front yard, buried in grass and stuff, and I pulled it out and did a complete restoration on it. I did a complete paint job, everything. The rear tires are new. They're all caked in mud, but they're super knobby, because down here in the southeast, we got a lot of the mud crap, like clay, and it's just terrible when it gets mud. When it gets wet, it just sticks to everything. But the original tires that look, like the traditional riding lawnmower tread, it was not having it. It was like trying to drive around with drag slicks on in the grass. And for those of you that know, it doesn't work so well. So I put in some lights. So there's spotlights on either side. The seat is original, which is freaking amazing. There's no rips or damage or anything to that. There's no rust on the entire thing. It was originally a 12.5 horse, 40-inch deck. Now, big reveal. Ta-da! Briggs & Stratton, single cylinder, 19 horse engine, custom exhaust. I can do a separate video on this thing in the past or in the future. It's got pretty small tank. I can mow the lawn like 1.5 times before I have to fill up. There's not a whole lot going on with this. This is like bone stock, normal homeowner use, like 1/2 acre, 1/4 acre lot type of machine. This thing I got back in Washington before we moved, and never really used it much, mainly because I was putting the new engine on. But I have a trailer over there that's hiding behind the tree, and I've gotten some other things like an aerator, and there's a thatcher over there. But did a couple things to it. Put this skull shifter on there. Yeah, it's dirty, so I mean, it's not the prettiest thing. But after I did the paint job, I did all new decals, so I got brand new Murray decal there, and then the new ones for the sides of the hood. But yeah, it's really dirty now, but mainly just wanted to show you guys kind of the size comparison. I think what I'll do is, since they're not right next to each other, I'll push this over next to, because I'm not going to start it right now, it's pretty late, and we got neighbors and stuff, and I want to be, nice to them. But I'll push the Murray over next to the 425 and give you guys a kind of a little feel on how big the 425 is compared to the Murray. So give me a quick second, I'll be right back. All right, so here we go. That took longer than I wanted it to, but anyway. Okay, kind of out of breath for a minute. That thing is kind of heavy. The John Deere 425, and so this is a 94 John Deere 425, and this is a 97 Murray, I don't know what you want to call it, 12.5 horse 40-inch deck mower. So here we go. Well, I mean, you can really see, let's scoot back, just the sheer size of the 425 compared to the Murray. And yeah, we're on kind of a hill, but I mean, there's so much. Like the front tires of the 425 are almost the same size as the rear tires on the Murray. But I mean, the Murray weighs about 600 pounds, probably about 500, 550 right now without the deck on. And the 425 weighs, it's about 800 pounds without the deck. With the deck, it's about 900-ish, 950, somewhere in there. But I mean, I got the 425 out of the back of the truck today, and because it didn't run at the time, it actually doesn't run right now, we're still working on it. There's some ignition stuff that we're figuring out, but I went and got the Murray to pull it over to where it is now, through all the mud, and it was insane. But I parked the Murray next to the 425, and I was very impressed on the size. So yeah, we'll just take a little walk around so you can see the difference. I mean, right across you got huge difference with height. I mean, you probably sit like 6 inches to a foot higher in the 425 that you do with a Murray. I mean, this Murray, I can't lie, is so much fun. I've done mudding and stuff on the property, mowing, all sorts of stuff. But that 425, holy moly, it's going to be able to do so much more. And I'm not getting rid of the Murray. The Murray's sticking with me forever because they're really rare to come across now. I've only seen, I think, one other one that isn't this one. And the 425s are worth so much. So I don't know if I'm going to sell this eventually or whatever, because my plan is to get the X758, and that's got the 3-cylinder diesel Yanmar, 54-inch deck, huge beast of a tractor. But yeah, I mean, I saw this guy on OfferUp and I was like, I had to have it, because I mean, with a price like that, you can't pass that up. I mean, it needs a little work here and there. It's missing the reverse pedal, and the rear tires probably need to be replaced pretty soon, but other than that, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the thing. I mean, yeah, there's some ignition stuff going on, but we'll fix that tomorrow and be good. But yeah, I hope you guys liked the video, and I hope this encouraged you to go, you know, stretch your legs and go, you know, get a project. Go do something outside and spend a little money. It'll be worth your while. Absolutely. So see you guys in the next video.